How's it going, Variable Traders? Robert H here. Today I want to talk about reversals. Many of you know me for that strategy, and I haven't done a recap for those in a while. So basically, today's SPY sold off really heavy for about an hour and a half or so, put in a good hammer, and then it finally gave a new 15-minute high, pulled up, gave a shooting star, which is a pretty bearish, and then pulled back again in the previous day close, and then off it went. It was kind of like a W reversal, or many of you may have seen my previous videos. I draw that as kind of the booty reversal breakout or whatever. It's not always as clean, higher highs, higher lows type of deal. Anyways, I got faked out. I took this AMD reversal, jumped the gun, impulse, didn't wait for confirmation, didn't wait for new 15-minute high. SPY was still selling off, and no new 5-minute high. As you can see, the moving average is very distant. No sign of crossover. The crossover didn't happen until here, 11:10, and just no excuse on my part. Just a bad trade altogether. Took the loss and didn't hold. As you can see, it broke down. Once it makes a new 15-minute low, it's going to break down, and I didn't want to be a part of that. So afterwards, once SPY put in that new 15-minute high on this candle, right, the 11 o'clock candle, I saw that MU, which is known to mirror SPY, had also put in a hammer, so I jumped the gun again. This time I think it's okay just because the larger market was also reversing. Everything else was going off, AMD and all the other sectors, SQ and all that stuff. So I jumped the gun, got a good entry here near the low of the day, put my stop here initially, and then we kind of came up, and here's that boot shape again, right? We did the little boot. Had to pull back, and it didn't come to my break even. By this point, after about 30 minutes, I'd move my stop. Rather than low of the day, I kind of put my stop around here, right? If we start trending the other way, then you are going to see a reverse ABCD, right? But good thing it kind of found support there once the SPY bounced off the previous day close, and then we went off again. Took my first partial here. As you can see, that level had been tested before. I missed the fill by half a cent or something. I mean, the price hit it, I just didn't get filled, which is unfortunate. So this time around, I lowered it by a penny or two, and just so I can ensure to get filled in case it does try to bounce there. And took a bit more off here, saved some for the VWAP. Saw a red shooting star, just I was scared we were going to reject the VWAP, so I just took a little bit more off here. And then I let the rest ride, something like 7% of my shares, just let the rest ride, and we kind of caught this little trend trade here, and I just took it all off right before the close. It's about 3:30 market time right now. I just took the rest off there, so pretty good chunk of change on that last partial. If you're still watching this video, I quickly want to discuss moving averages. Now, if you're a fan of the Robert H, the Great Reversal, or the 3-star reversal, you know we watch the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, and the 15-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart specifically, we look for the 9/20 to cross the 50, right? And in this MU trade that I just took, that happened roughly in this window here, between 11:09 and 11:13, right? This area. Now, I've switched to the 2-minute chart. This is what I've mentioned earlier in the week and last week. I've also switched moving averages. I've switched to the 8 and the 20 SMAs. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Robert, SMA, EMA, 8, 9, 20, 2-minute chart, 15-minute chart, all these changes, can't keep up. That's not important. That's probably the topic for another video. But what is important is that this crossover between the 8 and the 20 happens roughly in the same area, right? 11:12, this happened, right? And this was this area here. 11:09 to 11:13. It's roughly the same. And why is that happening? Well, mathematically, 2 is twice as big as 1. You can see that. 8, right, on this side, and 20 on this side, it's roughly 2.5. And then on this side, the 20 and the 50 is roughly 2.5. So because we're switching to a longer time frame, we're looking at smaller crossovers, smaller moving averages to crossover. And you're going to find, if you take trades in the future, you're going to find that this crossover happens roughly in the same range, a few minutes apart. And again, these are not exact points, they're areas. And just because there's so many people trading the markets with different time frames and all that stuff, what's really key about this strategy, don't get caught up in the numbers and all that stuff. The key is to watch the 15-minute to see if the trend is changing and it's continuing in the same direction. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you in the chat room tomorrow.